You tighten this thing up so it don't move. So
Hey, it's moving.
what you done done to our
hey.
what you done to our music?
Hold on. Catch it right here. Here we go.
Let the beat drop. Oh no, see, you should have ran it. Oh.
Welcome back to another voyage. You said I should have ran that past production?
Yeah.
It was a spur of the moment.
We learning and
I'm
hearing things in real time.
In real time.
I have not been consulted.
Welcome back to another voyage. At the helm with Kelli.
I'll take it. Once I figured out what it was, that
You see it?
The all aboard the.
So for those who may have heard the new intro sound, not so much new, different. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, hit us up, let us know if you enjoyed the new intro sound. But we are back. We are back live. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Go ahead and put all your devices on. Do that. Thank you so much.
Welcome back to At the Helm with Kelli and Wayne.
I'm Kelli.
And I am Wayne. And so I do want to see if anybody even heard the new introduction. If anyone heard the new introduction, if you heard it, let me know if you liked it. Let us know if you liked it. If you need to hear it again, let me know. If you didn't hear it, let me know because I will play it again. I'll play it over and over and over until we hear it. And so actually, it's not like super new. It is the what's up, Rosalie? It is the first intro we had when we started the podcast, when we were only when we weren't doing video, when we were just doing recordings. When we did the first 4, so it was me and you, and then we introduced the kids, and then we did maybe 2 or 3 more. We put them on SoundCloud, and we were trying to go out and begin this podcast only on the audio side. Mm-hmm. And then you came in and was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be on TV. I want to do video.
You say all the time.
So now we're on video. But that was the first sound that we had, and that is ours. We do own the rights to that music.
We own the rights to this music
because we made it.
Okay, awesome. I didn't say nothing about that. Okay.
Yeah. So again, if anyone enjoyed the intro, please let us know. We do appreciate everyone joining us this evening. We hope everyone got the message that Kelli sent out that we were 8:30 this evening. I know we normally do 8 o'clock. Hopefully you have some notifications on your mobile devices.
If you're following us.
Yeah. If you're following us, something should have popped up.
Just got the notification.
We're live.
Your light not on over there.
And let me turn the light on. And got the notification. First it said we would be on at 8:30. But then also the notification said we're live now.
Yes.
So hope everyone got that. We are here. And it's been a busy, I'm going to say week. Busy week, busy day. I have been sitting.
It's my birthday. Been busy.
It is. It's every season. It's your birthday. Yes, it's your birthday.
Not today. Today's not my actual birthday, but April is my birthday. Just in case anybody was wondering.
Hey, true. It's your birthday month.
April is my birthday.
It's your birth month.
Yeah, April's my birthday.
And how many other Aries? Put it in the chat. How many other Aries celebrate? And I'm doing this all on the camera, but that's okay.
It's not okay, but you're doing it.
I mean, the news crew sometimes have to do it. We don't have a.
We are our own production crew.
We don't have.
You got all your cups in the way. I didn't know you already had a cup. Did you already have a cup?
You can't see them on. Oh yeah,
because I'll take that other.
That's fine. Yeah, some of our staff didn't show up today. Some of our production crew.
Yeah, we don't have Riley today.
Yeah, we don't have Riley. So Riley normally makes sure we do all of those things. But yes, I have been sitting in right here in front of this computer for the last 2.5 hours. So it's been busy. But I think I put in the description of our podcast tonight that we have to do more. What did I put? I don't even remember.
I haven't seen it. So
where does it show up at? I don't even know where it shows up. I put it out there. I don't know.
Right. You said
it's time to go to work. It's time to go to work.
Now you see what happens on Sundays too. When you tell me something and then it's like,
yeah,
I put it out there and that's what the subject is, but it ain't. It really
it is. I've
no,
been getting better.
And I'm not talking about you sent it to me the night before. You just sent it to me.
Oh,
you just sent it to me. It ain't been 10 minutes. And then you stand up and it's a totally different message.
What was different this past week?
It's okay. I mean, you're getting better. You're getting better.
And the week before, what was different?
You're getting better.
And the week before, what was different? And the week before, what was different?
I said you're getting better.
Yeah.
Okay. so let's move that along.
But you were insinuating that potentially it's like that every Sunday. But yes, we have work to do. We have been busy this week. We have been from organizing meeting to organizing meeting. We started off last week at the inaugural public theology. Lord, how much? Help me get it right.
And public policy?
Yeah, public theology and public policy conference, which was good. But it really just highlighted how much more work we need to do and how, look at Auntie. Hey, Auntie. Hope you're following. Hope you got a good notification that we were here. But how much work we need to do. We ended up going on Monday to a property tax workshop to help people file appeals
in Wake County.
Because
we're international.
Yeah, we are international. I forgot about that. Forgot we were international. But this has been the highest in Wake County, only in Wake County. This has been the highest tax revaluation in history. In history. And they realized that really poor and low wealth communities and mostly predominantly Black communities were really subsidizing gentrification through this tax system of what they were doing. So they were having some workshops and some information to help people to understand really what was going on and to help them file an appeal with filing an appeal for their actions, to get their taxes lowered. So that, and then this evening, we had a partners and Poor People's Campaign committee meeting for our Witness Wednesday. That will be next Wednesday, the 24th. We'll be meeting at the Capitol building at 11 and then making our way over to the legislation to open up the short session. And they have a long train of abuses that they are preparing for. Short session is normally a time when they're just supposed to come and kind of do some housekeeping on the budget and some small little things. But these extremists have come with egregious ideas and horrible policies that they are trying to push through on this short session. And it impacts everyone. Just realized, you want to got a shirt on that says say less, and now I feel like I just need I can't stop. Realized that the General Assembly legislation realized as they were going through their budget and doing their process that they ended up with about $1 billion more in the budget than they expected. And they really have some not great ideas to do with all of that money. So we're going to make sure that we show up and let them know that what you do with that budget, it will not be done in the dark. And if you don't do right by the people, then we will make sure that people are aware of what's going on and the immoral policies and legislation that you are trying to pass. They're trying to give $300 million to people who are already wealthy, people that are already have plenty of money for vouchers, a voucher program for private school. And we know that pretty much what they do is all the money that they get, they just, that determines what their tuition will be, so they can give it to the people who already can afford to go to these private schools, who are really discriminate and segregate. We have found out that these schools really do not, they're not very welcoming to people outside of people that they pander to. They really do not want people with special needs. They don't want people with disabilities. They don't want those kids. They really don't want black and brown kids. They really don't want kids from low poverty areas. Now, they'll bring a few in just to check a box, but they are not trying to be equal to make sure that everyone has an same equal opportunity to go to these places. They are planning on trying to extend more voter suppression. They think early voting is way too long, so they're going to try to attack that. Public education, which they continue to try to defund. So all of those things that we are going to show up on the 24th to make some noise about, that impact, again, all of society. So we'll be there. So anyone who's available, please join us there. Please join us there if you can. If you can't, join us online. Go to the North Carolina Poor People's Campaign.org. It will be live streamed. So it's not only about just being there, but it's about getting this information out. So if you can't be there, again, join North Carolina Poor People's Campaign.org. It will be live streamed. That is next Wednesday, Capitol Building at 11 o'clock. We will start there and then make our way over to the General Assembly. And yes.
Okay. You have now heard the announcements. Please govern yourselves accordingly.
Yes. And there may be more as they come to my head.
Okay.
Oh. What was you going to say?
Go ahead.
Yes. We got work to do. For those who may not know, and you're going to have to help me out because I always get the group wrong. The group that met, the board, the North Carolina UNC Board of, what was the group?
The College Board of Governors. I don't know.
Yes, College Board of Governors. But anyway, it is the Board of Governors, Board of Trustees that oversee state institutions, educational institutions. They met in a room. They were planning to attack all DEI initiatives. There was a group that showed up to make sure they wanted to go in and hear what they were talking about. There were campus police officers at the meeting place from like 10 different campuses. They had brought their own military there. These board of directors brought them there and would not let anyone in. Told them there was not room in the building. There was not room for them to come in. Afterwards, they found out when people left, there was over 200 seats in this room. There was not nearly 200 people in this room. And it took them only 4 minutes. 4 minutes to decide and vote to deny and challenge and to shut down and vote down all DEI initiatives.
And DEI is diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Yes.
But not, I was gonna say most people just see that as black and white, but diversity is everybody. It's women, it's those with disabilities. Equity is the same. We want to make sure that resources are distributed out equitably among everybody. And inclusion, we want to make sure that people are able to participate. So it's not just black and white.
Sorry.
It's a lot of um, the DEI. So what we know is that
Um,
what we know is that during George Floyd's summer, when we saw the horrific act of a police officer, put his knee on the neck of George Floyd and killed him. And that summer, everyone, even the Amish on every continent, was protesting the actions of that police officer. And so people scrambled because what they thought was that this is going to be the straw that breaks the camel's back. This is going to be what causes Black people to realize their power and to act on that. And so a lot of people gave a lot of people some money to start these DEI equity initiatives, and a lot of white people wanted to get into a lot of uh, trainings and learn what it was that they could do, and everybody wanted to be a better person, and that lasted about 13 months. Since 2023, I think the what we learned is that 80 states have come up with these anti-DEI initiatives, these laws, and they are enacting them. Also, what we know is they don't really care about the what we call the minorities. And this is my church says my shirt says the global majority, because how we speak to a thing is how a thing is. Black and brown people are not minorities. We are the global majority. Across this globe, there are more Black and brown people. But they were able to shake the narrative and say, you guys are the minority. We're not the minority. But anyway, even when you are able to bring your own police officers to a hearing that should be open to the public, and you outright lie and say there's no room. They don't care. So this is what we're facing. This is what we're up against. And this is why we have work to do. When they push you and your back is to the wall, the only thing left to do is to move forward.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
And this is what we have to do. So I feel like we are kind of being rocked to sleep, because you see all of these things over and over that happen, and you feel like there's really not anything that you can do about it, but there is. You don't ever relinquish your power. And I also feel like that we always have to follow the money. This weekend, I was a lot of places. I went to a lot of places, did a lot of things, but I was at Women's Empowerment. I haven't been to Women's Empowerment in probably about 15 years, since 2008, 9, 10, somewhere around there. I haven't been. So I went, and I don't know why. I don't know why I had tickets to go, because it's not something that, I have wanted to do. But I went, and it was mid. I'm just gonna say that. I probably won't go back. But one of the things that struck me was that I was there for about 10 or 11 hours.
That's a long time.
In one place with a bunch of mostly Black women. In PNC Arena, we filled that place up. And nobody from the main stage that I heard spoke about voting in this election year. Now, granted, I was out. I went to a couple of workshops. I was upstairs looking at vendors. So there was a window of time where maybe somebody said something about voting, but I did not hear it. The only time that I actually heard or got any information about voting, there was a judge there. I think Judge Carolyn Thompson. She is the only Black woman left on in our judicial courts in North Carolina. She is running for her judgeship again. She had a table at the Women's Empowerment. She, of course, spoke to me about voting for her. But other than that, there was no organization there to make sure people were registered. There was, no, and it was, you don't have to be partisan. There could have been a nonpartisan group there that was talking to us about the importance of this election that is about, were we 7 months?
Yes.
About 7 months away.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm disgusted by that.
Mm-hmm.
Because of all of the sponsors that was there. And again, granted, I wasn't in the main stage for the entire 10 or 11 hours. I can tell you there was nobody outside in the perimeter. And while I was mostly inside at the main stage, I didn't hear anything about voting. And that to me is unacceptable. When you
Yes.
these are radio stations who are, the Black radio stations, the K97.5, the 103.9, The Light, this faith group, Foxy 107. This is the majority Black demographic and population. And we are the ones that are being targeted by propaganda. So you don't have thousands of people in a place in an election year, and you don't mention voting unless it's by design. And I'll just say that.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, you won't out that long. That should have been mentioned over and over.
I should have got tired of hearing about voting.
Yes.
Just like I'm tired. Just like I'm tired of Kevin Hart and these doggone whatever.
FanDuel.
No, he ain't FanDuel. He DraftKings.
Oh, DraftKings.
I don't gonna give him no props, but
my fault.
I am so sick of those sports betting commercials. I hate the Kevin Hart one. I should have been that sick of somebody talking about voting.
That's right.
Where you have the captive audience of thousands of women, thousands of Black women. That's a big voting block. That's a big voting block. And so, like I said, the fact that it wasn't mentioned and then 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 mentioned again.
Yeah.
That's not an oversight. So it is up to us. It is up to each one of us to be informed, to know that we are being targeted, to know that there are people out there who will lie to your face. It could be a simple lie like there ain't no room. They will lie to your face and then go right inside and enact a law that is targeted at you. And while we here, let me just talk about Duke University. Y'all already know how I feel about Duke University.
Oh, man.
You know how I feel about Duke University. But this week, or maybe last week, Duke University ended their scholarship that was geared toward helping students of color.
Oh, yeah.
At Duke University. Duke University that was built off the backs of enslaved Africans. Duke University, who has all this tobacco money from these Black and poor white people who worked in their fields. Duke University, who gives most of their admissions to legacy students. That means students whose daddy and granddaddy and great granddaddy went to Duke. But until 1963, Black people couldn't go to Duke. So there is not that many Black legacy students. So while y'all out here worrying about affirmative action, nobody is targeting legacy admission.
That's right.
Nobody's targeting legacy admission. And so Duke University has decided that they will do away with that. So I'm just saying, all of these things are happening, and they're happening right in our face. And it is up to us to wake up, to be woke, because they already trying to take that and make you think that woke is a bad term. I'm woke, and I'm glad that I am awake, because y'all will not rock me to sleep while you continue to enact all of these hurtful policies in my face.
Yep.
So, shout out to Duke University.
Shout out to Duke.
Or, how we sing it at Carolina.
Go to.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
But that's how people try to, again, polarize the DEI conversation, because they don't want to be inclusive. They don't want to be equitable. They don't want to be diverse. They want to continue to have the legacies and be unfair with the admissions. But then they use that again to conquer and divide. So, like you said earlier, and they try to make this a black and white, a racial issue, try to racialize everything really because they know.
And mostly it is. We're not going to get away from that. We're not going to get away from this country. I don't care what Kamala say. I don't care what Nikki Haley say. I don't care what none of them people. America is a racist country.
Oh yeah.
So you cannot take something that was built solely on you got these people who was writing laws who own people who said that they were 3/5 of a person. We can't move away from that.
Yeah.
There's no way you can move away from that. And there's no point that once they wrote that, and from the time we did slavery, we did the Trail of Tears, we did this Japanese internment camp, like all of these things that America did. There is no point where these people who say make America great again, there is no point from the time they wrote this constitution that said we was 3/5 of a person until now.
That's right.
Where are we going? What era are we going back to that was great?
Yep. But
do not be fooled.
Yeah. But what we can't do is allow, and again, it is the racists, but we can't allow them to racialize and divide the people and realize that that's what they're doing when they want to. Again, they racialized the Affordable Health Care Act when they stuck President Obama's name to it. So then clearly when you begin to racialize it, that's easier to draw the line and draw the divide. So when you racialize DEI, when that's just one strategic attack that they do. So yeah, it is that. But
I'm waiting for you to like so we need white people to do what?
No, I mean, first of all, stop being racist. But what I'm saying is we can't allow that to divide. White people got to realize that they are part of DEI.
Yes.
That's what they it's not just like you said, it's not just a racial issue. They want to racialize to make it just black and white. Like you said, it's people with different abilities. It's special needs. It's so many that.
And it might also be giving black people opportunities that have not been available to black people. Let's just get over that.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's okay. It might be that too.
Yeah. But white women need to realize that DEI helps them.
Yeah.
And quit being one of the largest fighters against it. I mean, it helps that group. So, yes. Also, this horrible legislation is, again, moving to attack and terrorize immigrants. They are trying to reinforce, not reenact, it's still there, but they're trying to bring back to the top the fear-mongering and, again, the divisiveness of HB 10 and trying to force law enforcement agencies to work with ICE when the majority of sheriffs, statewide county sheriffs, had said, no, we don't want to do that. We don't.
And that's how they got elected.
Yeah.
The people elected the sheriffs.
Yes.
Who said we're not doing it.
Who said we're not doing it. But legislation is going to try to push to make them and force them to do that. So again, we have so many issues. And there was we actually saw a report the other day. There was a little town. I'm not going to name the town, but it's down in Alabama. Little small town.
Why were they naming it?
It was New Bern.
Yeah, I was like, why are we not naming it?
New Bern, Alabama.
Like, why are we not naming it? We call it out white supremacy.
New
That's what we do.
Bern, Alabama. New Bern, Alabama. There was a gentleman who black man decided to run for mayor. He won being mayor. And for 3 years, not a couple days, not a couple months, 3 years, 3 whole years, white supremacists have kept him out of the mayoral office and are not allowing him to fulfill the role of mayor. So when they went in and started doing some investigation and doing some things, they have not had elections in this town of New Bern, Alabama in over 2 decades.
Maybe more.
Maybe more.
Several decades.
They've not had voting in
Now,
several decades.
that's not this. A town can't do that by themselves.
Yeah.
Where is the board of election?
Where's the board of election?
Where is the attorney general?
Attorney General? Where's the governor? Where's all of these people?
But it is Alabama, so
Green, yeah, New Bern, Alabama.
it is Alabama.
But yes, so this is what we are, fighting, and what we're dealing with, and what we are having to challenge day in and day out of this evil of white supremacy who just wants to be in position and in power. And they are having to fight to have elections in this town that they've not had in decades. And people voted, and this man cannot even fill the role of being mayor. They decided that he couldn't even elect his own. No, they decided they could elect their own.
They're just going to
council.
see or
Yeah.
not. Yeah.
They're just going to appoint who they want to.
Yeah.
So
when we say things like, depending on who wins this election, it might be the last election we have. This is what we're talking about. Like, it is not hyperbole. We are not just like throwing things out. Like, these people tell you what they're going to do, and then they do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, do not be rocked to sleep. Your vote is important. The people in your circle is important. I think we counted, and we can probably influence about 10 houses.
Yeah.
In our circle of influence when it comes to voting.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody has a circle of influence. Like, come on. So we can do it. And while we're here, y'all might not know that Dawn Staley and the South Carolina Gamecocks won the women's NCAA championship.
You wouldn't know it if you watched
y'all might not know that.
A lot of the sports news.
You might not know. You might think Cece won, but she didn't.
She actually lost 2 in a row.
She lost
2 in a row.
So I was, of course, pulling for the Gamecocks because why not? They were undefeated. They've had an amazing 2 or 3 seasons, just like some other people. Mm-hmm. But hey, but I appreciated Dawn Staley. When they caught her right in the moment after she's winning, and confetti's falling, and how do you feel? And they're in your face, and she just gave honor to God, and she thanked them for that uncommon favor. Like y'all church people know that just you get a little shake in your shoulders, you get a little quickening. She said uncommon favor. But yeah, ever since then, every day I've seen just about everybody but Dawn Staley
or the player
and her team.
They gets no interviews.
Go figure.
Guess who got an invitation to the White House?
It was like they expected this other team to win. And when they didn't, they were just too lazy to go back and rewrite what they done. And Gail King. Gail freaking King.
Don't say it.
Who had the nerve to interview Dawn Staley and say to Dawn Staley's face, we were all pulling for Iowa, but you all pulled it out. Like, girl, go somewhere and sit down.
Please.
Go somewhere. These are the people who, they carry the water. They think the ivory tower is home, is due north. We won't all pulling for Iowa. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I was not ever. I have never pulled for Iowa. So we gotta. I guess our guest just popped in. I think that was so. We talked about voting. So I have invited my nephew EJ to come on and talk with us. EJ is one of these young people that, again, the media will tell you they are not interested, they're not involved, they're not engaged. But I don't know who they're talking to. And I haven't talked to EJ really about, but we're just gonna bring EJ on. So welcome him in, EJ.
What's going on, y'all?
Eric Jr.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
When Wayne turned the sound effects off, did you hear the sound effects?
Did you hear the applause you got?
Yeah, I heard the applause
from the crowd. I mean, yeah, that was the great crowd. They were welcoming you here, so we wanted to make sure you felt welcome. Make sure you felt welcome.
And we'll just say, like, our EJ is our nephew, but EJ is my blood nephew. EJ is my brother.
Okay.
But who you on?
EJ is my brother's son. For some of y'all who might be trying to say, who nephew is he?
He my nephew. Yeah.
Me and Uncle Wayne ain't no blood now.
So EJ, like I said, I don't know how much you heard, but we are smack dab in an election year.
Yeah.
If you look at the polls, they're saying young people are either saying that they're not going to vote. They're not interested in voting. They don't like neither one of these old dudes. So I just kind of wanted to bring you. Last week we talked about, or the last time we were on, we just talked about having someone with a different perspective. Like I am sick of the voting process, but don't get it twisted. I am going to vote.
Right.
I am going to make my way and I am going to cast my vote. I am sick of the Democrats. I am disgusted with the Republicans.
It's
Mhm.
both
But I
ways,
am
and
going,
everybody. Oh, excuse me. Go ahead.
no, I'm going to the polls. So
And you going to the polls.
Yeah, I'm going to the polls. Um, but like I said, from the young, like I talk to a lot of young people. Everybody is definitely fully aware of what's going on right now, and yes, people are saying that. No, I'm not finna vote. Blah, da, 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 da. Well, you gotta. I understand because they don't want to. So with everything going on right now, you get attacked if you vote in Republican. You're gonna get attacked if you're voting Democrat.
oh,
So
you're gonna get
everybody
attacked if
feels
you vote.
like
You're gonna get attacked if you vote Republican. Because I mean, first of all, I want to speak to you. If you're voting Republican, I just want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
right.
What we
But
voting? What we voting for?
for me, I don't know who I'm voting for yet. But there's just a few things that I'm worried about, and like for me, this political stuff right now, I'm in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the middle right now. Like you said, I'm disgusted with the Republicans, and I'm not too fond of the Democrats either. There's a lot of mess going on right now, and for me right now, I feel like what most young people, inflation and student loans and healthcare is probably what the young people are really worried about. Nobody want to pay them student loans.
No,
Everybody
nobody.
tired of the gas going up, food prices going up, and with all that being said, when you got all those factors going into who you're about to vote for, people don't see the back end of it. They don't see like, well, it's not this party that's making it do that. It's actually the big money it's like I like to call it fake inflation. It's like if I got a basket of eggs, I got a surplus. I got 50,000 eggs. But shoot, I'm selling 10,000 a day, and they going like hotcakes. So what you gonna do? I'm gonna up the price. I'm running out of eggs, and my chickens they got it. They keeping them coming, but you know what I'm saying? I'm running out. So what am I gonna do to help me? I'm gonna raise them prices,
Right.
and
And
a lot.
so, and if you are a capitalist, and not that that's a bad word, everybody wants money, but if you are making millions or billions of dollars in profit, and you have people who working at your little egg stand selling these eggs, and you don't even want to pay them $15 an hour, you are the problem. It's
You know
not
what I'm
either
saying?
president, it's not either party. It
Yeah.
is that person who is a capitalist. And
Yes.
so
Right.
of all of these things that you talk about, like all of these things are important, like healthcare. Like for 10 years, this state did not expand Medicaid. That was one party.
Yeah. What's
But
up with
yeah.
that?
So
That was one party.
so that's what I wanted to ask you. When you said some of the young people are concerned with policies, so you said student loans. So what people have to understand is who is trying to help with student loan debt and who's not. When it comes to healthcare, who was in charge in North Carolina? Who was in charge in North Carolina and did not expand Medicaid for the last 10 years? Who did that? When we talk about living wages and people need to make money,
Right.
who are the people that are pushing to have living wages and who is trying to shut it down? When we're trying to get, people and have equity and we're trying to get, more kids of color in STEM programs and in other genres and other corporations and other works of life. And when people are trying to deny and shut down these programs, these initiatives that help be equal to everyone, that's what people need to understand. That's what people need to understand. And so if you're concerned with that, and it can't be the sound bites that people hear. It can't be the sound bites that people hear. There are people mad because there's a certain president that has already reversed and relieved millions of dollars of student loan debt. And
They already did it.
there's people that have lost their mind because they think that's ridiculous. You need to know who those people are and which side they are on.
He said, what I didn't hear you say that was important to you was abortion. You are of childbearing age, and they act like
that
that's
ain't,
all
you know
we
what I'm saying? Hey, I ain't gonna tell y'all what y'all can do with y'all body, okay? Roe versus Wade,
but there is one party. There is one party who thinks that is what they should be doing right now.
For sure.
Yes.
So again, when you think about things that are important, like I don't know a lot of people who. Okay, so we of course we want women to have reproductive rights. We want that.
Right.
But there's one side that just keeps pushing it like that is the most important thing. It doesn't matter if you can go out and get an abortion if you got hungry kids at the house. Why they cutting Head Start and why they cutting food stamps and when you can't feed your kids, like really, y'all think abortion is what it is, but it is what is driving people to the poll. And again, when we speak to young people, you are a young man. I ain't even gonna ask you. I ain't even gonna get in your business right now.
but I'm about to get in my business.
Get in your business right now.
I'm gonna get in my business though, because all right, so what you just said, all the people that don't want the benefits and all that stuff, like y'all talking to a person who grew up on welfare. I needed it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And and why people don't agree with some of that stuff is because, well, I lost my train of thought. They don't agree with it because they never been through it. They don't know what it's like to go through that type of mess. They don't know what it's like having 3-4 kids. You can't feed the four kids you got, and you got a fifth one on the way, and you know you can't handle it. So unless you want to, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of factors that go into play when talking about that. You know what I'm saying? And going that way. And it's simple as, if you've never been through it, you're gonna always look the other way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy for you to disregard it when you ain't been through it.
That's right.
Absolutely. That's right. And when nobody in your family goes through it.
Right.
Because you are sitting in a place where you probably been the congressman for 40 years and you get free health care. And you the best. You get the best health care. So you don't care that
what's
people are
literally
dying.
Yeah. I said, what's the they don't know what a healthcare bill look like.
They don't.
And so when you talk about that, so again, now we have young people. We have young people who have kids. We have young people who have kids that they are hurting. They don't have money to take care of their kids. So we need to understand that there is a legislation right now that has $1 billion in the budget in North Carolina that they're going to have to share and divvy out to programs. They want to give 300 million of that to go to private schools. When there's kids that are hungry, when there's child tax care credits, when there's people, and what they do is blame people for being poor. It's that person's fault that they had those 3 or 4 kids and they don't need no help. We didn't need no help. We did it on our own. And so they want to fund their own. And again, not have to make sure that everybody has. We have an abundance of resources, not only in this state, but in this nation.
Right. And I don't want to blame nobody. And like what I'm finna say is gonna sound a little off, maybe just, you know what I'm saying? But I gotta say, because this is my thinking. And like I said, y'all can correct me because I'm open ears. I'm a very open person. But America to me is like Aunt Shane, if you're watching this, but he like Aunt Shane. America like Aunt Shane, and everybody business.
She on here.
She on here. Go ahead, say.
I love you, Aunt Shane.
Hold on. Let me hold on.
Wait, hold on one thing.
Hold on, EJ. Hold on.
She calling.
Thoughts and opinions expressed by guests on At the Helm podcast belong solely to them and not necessarily the host of At the Helm podcast.
There's your disclaimer. Say whatever you need to say.
That's our disclaimer. I don't know what you been saying, but I'm not signing off on nothing.
Right. I love you, Aunt Shane.
But America is like Aunt Shane in what way?
we in everybody business. We're sending millions and millions of dollars away. You know what I'm saying? And like people need help in other countries, but how I feel is like, okay, we need to put America first. We have our house isn't even put together. We always talk when you got if something goes wrong in your household, you don't go to the next household and try to help them because you down bad. Your light bill needs to be paid. You know what I'm saying? So why,
But
if
you
your
know the
light bill
people.
needs to be paid, why are you going to them and feeding them the money that you should be paying your light bill with? You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? And there's multiple. We got a huge military budget. We got
You know how much of
we're
that
sending
is?
uh,
So
I want to say around 90 trillion.
every dollar that the government spends, okay, so the government, federal government dishes out their budget. For every discretionary dollar that they share with everyone in this country, over almost 60 cents of every dollar goes to the
more.
military budget.
And
60
two,
cents out
And
of
now
one.
we're not talking about military personnel because we got some military personnel who have to apply for these same welfare benefits.
Exactly.
correct.
We're not taking care of soldiers.
They don't
we're not
love
taking care of veterans.
They don't love the
You know what I'm
troops.
saying?
We're buying weapons. We
Yes.
got enough nuclear weapons to blow up the country 3 times. So after we
Uh-uh.
blow it up
World.
twice,
No, just a minute.
10 times,
10
okay.
times.
But after you blow it up one time, what you gotta do to build it back up to blow it up again? Like, you really don't need enough money but to blow it up but for one time. But yeah. So but EJ, you are these
Go back to
these
everybody's
people.
business.
Right. This is what I want to say. You are these people who say you said I don't know who I'm voting for yet, and so but it sounds like you know who you probably should be voting for. The people who make the decision to send money to other countries, they work for us. We vote for them. We vote them in. So we need to. Matter of fact, we're hosting something.
I voted for Joe Biden.
But Joe Biden, and so Joe Biden is
But
a figurehead.
Yes.
yeah,
Joe Biden can't
he's
do
a puppet.
nothing. He can't do nothing until Congress and the senators, the people who we voted for. We voted for Joe Biden, but then we have to vote for people who is either going to work with him
Congress, right?
or who going to check him.
Yep.
So Joe Biden is really the president, but
I mean, and they want to do good.
he wants to do good, but he needs people who also want to do good.
Yes.
He needs people who want to pass health care. He needs people who want to pass a living wage so people can work for and live. Because you can work 40 hours on minimum wage and you still ain't got nowhere to live.
Nope.
You need to
Can't
work
do nothing with it.
2.5 part-time jobs, and they have not raised this minimum wage, but they keep giving themselves
And
a
how many
raise.
years? 15 years.
15 years.
15 years minimum wage.
And minimum wage, just so we know, minimum wage is $7.25.
25 cents.
$7.25 an hour. So you can't even go to Burger King and get you a number one combo.
$20.
Unless you got to go work for 1 hour and you still don't have enough.
Or
That is unacceptable.
So you can work at McDonald's, work at Burger King, work at these fast food places, and in 1 hour, if you make minimum wage, you cannot even take a break and buy yourself something off the menu.
That don't make no sense.
it don't.
When you say, because I never believe them, EJ, when they say on TV, we have a room full of people who are undecided. I be like, how? How y'all undecided?
Because you got to think about it though, because everybody's like, it's like you seen that Spider-Man meme where everybody pointing at each other.
But right now we got for president. So everybody's in the House of Representatives, all their seats are. So all of them can get fired, and we can just start over. Fire all of them if we need to, and see who's running. But for president, we got 2 choices. We got the man who is the president right now, who has made insulin $35 a month.
$35 a bottle
for people who
seniors.
can get insulin, who has canceled student loan debt.
Millions.
And millions of dollars in student loan debt. So, and the things that you talk about, he wants health care. He was there with the president whose name is on Obamacare. He was the VP to Obamacare. Okay. So we have this man who is constantly working to do things. He is for a woman's right to choose. He is not trying to restrict
For sure. You know what I'm
laws.
saying? Like,
Okay.
I don't even want to speak
Now,
on that because, you know what I'm saying, women, that's, I ain't a woman. You know what I'm saying?
why? Why are we talking about it? If y'all could get pregnant, listen. Now, when we start talking about reducing that Viagra, see what happens.
Hey,
What?
I ain't that old
No
yet
more.
either, though. You know what I'm
But you
saying?
gonna get there. Yeah.
Right. So, but I'm talking about your two choices. You got Joe Biden, the man who knows what he's doing. He's been in the Senate, and of course, he's been there longer than you've been born, twice as long as you've been born.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing this work. Okay. On the other hand, we got a man who has ran several businesses in the ground.
In the ground.
We only know him because his daddy gave him $1 million. He
I
lost
wish I
that.
could get me a small loan of $1 million.
You see what I'm saying? There is no
I-
bank in this country that he wants to be the president of that will loan him money.
Right, because he
There
done
is
went
no
bankrupt 10
bank. Let
times.
me say that again. There is no bank in this country that he wants to be president of that will loan him money, which means he's seeking out loans. So everybody who thinks he's rich and he's a billionaire, he is still seeking loans, and there are no banks that will give him a loan in the country that he wants to be president of. Okay? He has 88 indictments. He is right now this week in a courtroom where he is on trial for using business funds, like using business funds to pay a porno star for sex, while his wife, third wife, but his wife nonetheless, was at home with her newborn baby that she just had with him. We think it was his baby. You know what I'm saying? His wife. So he has been heard on camera saying he will grab women by. You see what I'm saying?
And that's crazy.
What are we thinking about?
Crazy.
What he was when he had the job, he got impeached twice.
Yeah. And so what we have to do.
What is the choice? Well, so when they put these people in the room and they say we undecided, I really want to know what you thinking about.
Well, like I said, I want to bring it back a little bit because we've been spinning. You know what I'm saying? We've just been going forward. But I want to bring it back. Well, I ain't gonna bring it back that far. We can bring it back towards the end. So right now, your question to me is, why am I still undecided?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm about to yap for a little bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, like I said, from the jump. Okay. So, for me, the whole money thing, the whole get our house in order is what I think truly needs to be done, because and that means cutting off. Okay, we love being protected by the military. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We love that. It's America. We love being free. We love to be able to roam the streets as we please and all that, right? But in order for us to grow as people, we have to worry about our tribe. You know what I'm saying? We can't send these millions and trillions of dollars to these countries where we have hungry people in America. We have veterans who are living on the street. Nothing, nobody, nothing but a cardboard sign to ask for help. For God forbid, you know what I'm saying? Good Lord, you know what I'm saying? Hungry kids without homes. You know what I'm saying? There's a million things in America that's wrong. Yep. And America might look like a put together country, but it's just like somebody with good credit, with no money. And if you look at if you look at our debt, we don't have a ceiling. We can print as much money as we want until 2025. What does that mean? The value of the dollar goes down every single day. We're going into trillions of debt every single day. We're spending money that we don't have.
So
and on top of that, good.
No, I was gonna say, so all of these things that concern you, where do you get your information from about who's trying to fix the things that concern you? Where do you get your information from?
Well, there's a few different, I'm not a Fox type of guy. I'm not a CNN type of guy.
Is it TikTok? Like who is it?
TikTok is unreliable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know everybody, everybody love to watch TikTok. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they drop free game.
Yeah, they do.
Plies got some decent information.
Follow Plies.
I ain't never heard of it.
But I asked you a question. So where do you get your information about people who are trying to fix these things that worry you?
I read articles. I couldn't tell you.
Where?
I couldn't tell you. And that's,
we need to know. We need to know because again, there's propaganda out there, and we are being targeted
sure.
with information that are
Yes.
from fake sources. So for one, I need you to check your
AI.
sources, because I am somebody who, during the whole George Floyd thing, like, I had to unplug. I stopped watching news altogether. I was watching Netflix. I binge watched The Office. That's with 10 years old. I didn't know how funny that show was. So, but I do still try to get my information from credible sources. I
Right.
listen
I
to,
don't.
and I ain't even gonna say I try to listen to both sides, because I don't.
No.
Because I've
Well,
tried
I
that.
think.
I've tried that, and that was like, y'all playing on this side. On one side, y'all playing.
Well, if you in my like I said, we're gonna have to do another podcast because I love this. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of like, BS on both sides. I've watched Fox, I've watched CNN, and I've watched Saturday Night Live. I know that's not a news channel, but they make fun of both sides, and it's pretty funny. So
Yes.
you have to listen to both sides. You do because, well, you don't in a way, like, all right. When I say listen, I mean carefully with your ears, but don't believe what you hear and believe what you see. Because as their news, they're supposed to push that side. You know, CNN, Fox, they want you to go with their side. So of course there's going to be propaganda, and there's propaganda on both sides.
But one side is deliberately leading you down the wrong way. They've been sued for that. They can no longer call themselves a news
station.
channel.
They're entertainment.
They are entertainment. That's a clue. If a news station can't call themselves a news station, they're not
Then-
giving you the news.
They're not doing it.
And I learned the night that Barack Obama won the second term, and I was watching Fox, and they could not bring themselves to say this man has won. I was done with them.
Yeah. It was like
yeah, because that's delusional. You're being
The man
delusional.
has won. Everybody has called it.
every
But
channel.
Fox News is still telling their followers,
We don't know yet. It's undecided.
we haven't called it yet. Bruh, y'all the last ones. Sesame Street done called it.
And who
Sesame Street called it.
Yeah.
They about
who
like North
EJ
Carolina what they lost.
Yeah. and who EJ, when the last election was over, who were the ones that continued the narrative of this was a stolen election?
The election was stolen and da 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 da. Yeah, okay,
so-
right. And you can't help delusion. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But you can't fall in with them either.
delusion. You know what I'm saying?
But what happens is those people, they sprinkle, I don't even want to say facts in, but they sprinkle a little in there to get people to hear a little, and then they go way left. So what
You're
you
right,
were
they
saying a
grab
while
your ear
ago,
and then they snatch it.
yeah. So when you were saying a while ago, militarism, we put all our money in this military. So first thing you need to know, there's not a president from any party over the last 30 plus years that has not raised the defense fund. So you can throw party out the window for that. That it don't matter, because again, it's not all the president. It is the people under them. Okay. So when we talk about foreign policy really, unless you have a foreign policy expert
I want to say something about
that is speaking on foreign policy, there are probably 90% of the people that are on the news that speak about foreign policy that they don't even know what they're talking about. They have no clue, but they speak on it and they talk, and it is difficult to understand. So when we look at who we're going to follow and people, when we talk about people who are struggling, in the last 3 or 4 years, there was a vote that went to the Senate to pass a $15 federal minimum wage. All they had to do was vote on it. 50 Republicans and 8 Democrats denied 52 million people in this country the right to a living wage. So when you start looking at who is making these decisions, 50 of them on one party, every last one of them voted no. And there was 8 on the other side need to go too. So when we start talking about who and so we can't be partisan anymore. That's what I was getting ready to say. We have to go with policy. And I've heard the young people say, you know what? We just want to burn it down and start over. Well, Kelli made a good point a while ago. If all the seats are up in the House of Representatives, let's burn it down and vote some more in there.
Vote some more. Run.
And that's what we have to do.
If you're 18, run for a seat.
That's what we have to do. And it's not only at that top level. The people down on Jones Street in Raleigh that work out of the General Assembly, that legislative building, they make decisions that impact us every day. Every day. And until people are going to show up, until we're going to get out and make our voices heard, and you know what? This is not going to be fixed in one election. It's not.
Nope.
And EJ, I want to say something to you real quick. It's about foreign policy, but I want to, put it in layman's terms. We're going to go back to your basket of eggs, right? So we have to help out our neighbors to some degree. So let's just say at your egg farm, let's just say where you are now, y'all have this egg farm. There's another person who wants to come in and they don't even like eggs. So they're going to just start kicking over egg farms. Okay. If we are over here and we're just minding our business while the person kicking over the egg farm is getting closer and closer and closer to our street and we do nothing, eventually that person is going to encroach on our egg farm.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? So
Yep.
we have to help some of these countries that are in the NATO. We have to help our partners, because if we continue to let one oligarch run roughshod over Ukraine, take over Ukraine, then you take over Pakistan, and you just keep taking over, and then we elect the president who is his friend.
Guess who's taking over next?
Eventually, he's going to encroach on our egg farm, which is called the United States of America. So we do have to help our partners. We do have to help our partners.
Our neighbors.
We got to help our neighbors, because what happens to one of us eventually can happen to all of us. So that's just a simple way. That's a simple way of this form. So yeah, we do need to take care. We should not have homeless veterans. We should not have hungry children. We should not have people sleeping on the street when there are 5 vacant homes for every homeless person in the United States. We should not have those things, for sure. But until we elect somebody who wants to do something other than make a example out of Joe Biden and his son, for doing what? And they're only there for that reason. Until we get people in the seat who really want to do the work. And again, every seat in the House of Representatives is up for election in November. So check out wherever you live, check out who your person is running for that house, find out if anybody has challenged them. It's probably too late now to throw your hat in the ring, or you can start a write-in campaign. But we cannot just sit back and act like we can't do nothing, because we can't. We are the people who have the power. We are who have the power. We hire and we fire these people. And it is time for some people that sit on both sides of the aisle to get out of there.
Get out. We ain't dibbling, dabbling, popping and spinning on both sides of the aisle no more.
We cannot be 7 months out and we got 2 people for president and we still undecided. We're going to talk about that offline, because I'm not understanding.
No. Like, I'm not understanding. I'm going to explain what I'm saying. I'm going to go back. I'm going back to the, and I'm not saying we're not supposed to help our neighbors, right? But to an extent, you can't. Okay, so for instance, we should help Ukraine because they're fighting the war. They're getting invaded, and they getting all them people are getting killed. No help, no back. The only people that's helping them is the UK and the United States, NATO, whatever. You know what I'm saying? But NATO is the only one throwing them racks for real, like throwing that money on, like. And not to say that it's bad, and I'm not done. Now, let's go to Israel and Palestine. These people are fighting a war from the Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, these wars have been going back forever. So and especially when I can't tell you right now who's in the wrong, Israel or Palestine, because I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't listen to them and then listen to them and say, okay, well, they're the problem. How about we stop sending money to not everybody, but why are we sending money to Israel? You know what I'm saying? They're killing thousands of people every day. That's where my tax money just went. I'm hot. I don't want to hit another pothole. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see gas go up 10 cents.
And genocide is horrible everywhere. Genocide
Everywhere.
is horrible everywhere. Genocide
And
is
it ain't
horrible in
going on just in
Sudan.
Gaza. It's going on in Africa right now. It's
That's
going
right.
on in multiple
Talk to
places.
me. Talk to
You know
me.
what I'm
Sudan,
saying?
the
So
Congo,
And
we ain't helping the
we
Somalia.
have
Congo. You
hated.
know what I'm saying? We're not helping the Congo. You know, but we're gonna help the right folks.
You saying something right now? You saying something? You saying something right now? We have
But no,
hated
but like
Haiti
that's
ever
my
since they
thing.
said we are not doing the slavery mess no more. Napoleon, we're not doing it.
Mhm.
You don't came over here and gave us this French language. We're done. We have hated Haiti ever since then. They are in. So yeah, you're right. But we have to continue to. And again, we're not going to lay all of that at Joe Biden. And I want to
Yeah, we
reiterate what I
can't. You
said.
can't. You can't.
I want to reiterate what I said in my last podcast. If Joe Biden loses this election, he's gonna go home and he's gonna be okay.
Just fine.
Fine.
He's gonna
Gonna
be
feel
all
good.
right. So you are not punishing Joe Biden. You're gonna send an 85-year-old man home to sit on his couch and pet
To
his
live the
dog
rest of his best life.
and look at his wife. You're not punishing him. Okay?
Right.
We're not punishing him.
And
Now, there's only one other person who it could be. Tell me what his foreign policy is. He's been the president before.
I ain't been keeping up with Mr. Trump.
You know he had a Muslim ban.
Yeah, he had a Muslim ban 2 months into
You
his,
know he
his
called
presidency.
African nations shithole countries.
He did that.
You know he was separating babies at the border and said, "I don't care where your mama at. Wait, I don't
Oh.
care." We still don't know where those children
Yeah.
are.
He supported a whole group that marched in Charleston.
The White House.
Charlottesville, that said Jews will not replace us. So this
He
is,
said there was good people on both sides.
Yeah.
That's why we don't do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's a crazy statement. You know what I'm saying?
so
That is.
again. And so what the
And we're overtime.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
got
and I know, you know what I'm saying? I've been holding out who I'm voting for because I know everybody probably wondering, you know what I'm saying? But I'm making everybody anticipate.
That's your business.
Because
We'll
the way
talk
I'm
offline.
talking,
We're
you don't
gonna
know if
talk
I'm voting
offline,
left or right.
Matthew.
You know what I'm saying?
But this is the problem. This is what they've allowed us to do. They've allowed us to left, right, conservative, liberal, Republican, Democrat. Put those labels aside.
Yeah.
And let's vote right and wrong.
Yep.
Let's vote morals.
Point blank.
Let's vote to make sure kids have food, that public school.
Let's really make
kids
America great again.
Not again.
Not again.
We're gonna make it great.
Yeah, we're gonna make it great.
We're gonna make it great.
It's got a chance to get there.
We cannot pinpoint an era where it was great for everybody.
Yeah.
For everybody.
And another thing, I was just talking to my grandma about this, and this has been going on for I don't know how long. Besides, from what I can recollect, from Obama, I can't remember who was before Obama because you know what I'm saying. I won't worry about no politics. I just know Obama was black and got in the White House. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, y'all ain't had nobody but Bushes and Clinton since you've been like.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: so Obama's 8 years went down the drain because why? Republicans got in the office, turned everything around, and then who gets back in office? Because everybody said, man, we can't deal with this crazy orange man again. Shoot, Joe Biden gonna have to be that one. You know what I'm saying? But now people are not looking into it all the way. They're looking at it as, oh, the president, we had a pretty bad 4 years. I'm flipping back to Republican. That's how most people are thinking. People are not getting down and dirty into the depths, and they're not getting down into the facts. They don't know who's doing what and who's pulling what strings for them. You know what I'm saying? So we had,
They
8
do
years
remember
go by.
we was in a pandemic 4 years ago.
Right.
The people you talk to, they remember that.
Yeah.
They remember the world shut down. They remember this
That
man
was
said,
crazy.
drink some Clorox
And put a light up your butt.
Hey,
we do remember
and
this.
that's natural
We do
selection.
remember
If you
that.
believe them,
Millions of people
In
died.
this country, 1 million people. Across the world, 7 million people are not here because of a pandemic. But in this country, where we could have gotten a hold on it, we are missing 1 million people at our tables at Thanksgiving and at Christmas and for birthdays. That did not have to, it didn't have to go that way. So while he was out here getting injected with the vaccine, he telling other people not to get vaccinated. You see what I'm saying? He does not care about people. He cares about himself. So yeah, okay. So things got and here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Most of the times when Democratic presidents get in office, they got to clean up what they just did. Barack Obama came in, and I think he said he had to get the car out the ditch. Those are his
and think of and I'm like I said, I'm thinking I'm above everybody right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking down at at the fight. People, how we thinking is the same way that they're thinking. So every 8 years, every 4 years, if Trump wins, everything Biden put in place, Trump's whole thing is going to be, we're going to take everything Joe Biden did and turn it off. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to make
Unless it's a law. This is why we don't care about executive orders, because executive orders are only as good as the president who is in office.
Yep.
We need legislation. Again, let's go back to Congress and let's go back to the Senate. We need y'all to pass laws, because regardless of who the president is the law is the law. You can't just come and say, "Oh, we're not doing that."
Nobody above the law, right?
Well,
that's what they trying. That's what they're trying to be.
They trying.
So again, who's trying to do that? Again, when we look, move those labels out of the way. But they've put that because they want to constantly and consistently divide and move us away from, again, the conversation and the facts and what's really going on, and let us keep staying focused on the labels, the left, the right, the liberal, the conservative. And they've taken all of those words and they've labeled everyone to where they mean something totally separate, and they've moved away from the moral center of what is right and what really helps people.
I agree.
All right, EJ, we appreciate it. But I really want to bring you on because I want people to know that young people are listening. Young people are engaged. Young people are going out to vote.
Yes.
So stop talking about the young people. They're not getting out in the numbers that we old people are getting out, but that's our fault.
Yeah.
When the last time we took a young person with us to the poll? And while we were voting and they were a little too young to vote, did we take them?
And
do they know what that looks like?
Yeah.
Right.
So stop talking about the young people. Grab one by the hand and walk with them to the polls.
And also, EJ, I appreciate you having the conversation, because too often we don't listen to young people. So when you come up and you say, you know what, I'm confused because I don't know, instead of berating people, young people, and calling them dumb, stupid, and don't want to listen to them, no, hear what they have to say, because those are legitimate concerns. Let's have a conversation about the issues and the concerns that these people have. And now let's also have a conversation of how we move forward to fix that, and which people, I ain't even gonna say party, who are the people that are making the decisions. And we don't have to hear them say what they're going to do. Their voting records. We can go back and look and see what they have done. People can tell you all they want to tell you, but you know what you can do? You can go back and look and see what they've done.
Yep.
You can see how they've voted. You can see how they have moved and maneuvered in this political arena.
And another thing, to young people, we're not educated on, well, at least me, but I'm going to speak, you know what I'm saying? We're not trained to vote for the legislative and all them seats that's open right now. Nobody knows. Like, y'all telling me that was news to me. All I hear about is Trump and Joe Biden. I didn't even know all the seats was
every seat in the House of Representatives is up, so we can fire everybody and start over.
But we have to, and I feel like there's got to be guys. There's got to be something like this. In school, nobody teaches. I didn't know. I knew about the legislative and stuff, but I didn't know that you had. When they got fired, I didn't know you voted for. I didn't know we were about to have to vote for them. Is what I'm saying. That's news to me. You know what I'm saying? And also what a lot of people don't know is that the laws that get written, they go to Joe Biden, but they got to pass the House. They got to
go through all of that.
Yeah,
they got
the president is so much. He's just up there to hold up. He ain't really got a whole lot of power, because they can tie his hands. He can write something. They can overturn it. Like, the president really is. He is the what do you call the person over the military? What we call him? The commander in chief.
Yeah.
So he's that.
Yeah.
There is some power, but the power lies in the Senate with your two senators. Do you know who they are? You know your two senators in North Carolina? With your two senators and with those 300 or 400, however many House of Representatives.
Yep.
Those are the people who
435
who have the power.
Mhm.
We don't have no libertarians in the House.
None.
Let me just say that.
That's crazy.
We may, so when y'all going out here with these other parties, we're talking about moving with power.
Yes.
We're talking about moving with power now.
Yeah.
Okay? Hear me what I say.
Yeah.
We hate the two-party system. But right now, that's the power.
Exactly.
And I ain't gonna say you're
Yep.
gonna throw your vote away voting for a libertarian or somebody in the Green Party. But
But
they're probably not gonna win.
Yeah, they're not. And so I got 2 comments.
We gotta go.
We do,
Yeah, go
but
ahead.
this is this.
Great
We're gonna have to bring
conversation.
EJ back for
I
part 2.
appreciate
We're gonna
EJ.
have to
Part
go
two.
to at the helm after dark.
Yeah, I appreciate this conversation.
Yeah,
When
maybe
EJ
I
was
can
talking-
actually come to the podcast and put on some headphones and get a microphone so I feel official. You know what I'm
You
saying?
can sit. You can do that. We got room. But when you were
So-
saying, it's education and it's not taught and it's not taught in school. Well, there's people, and we don't even have to name, but we can go find out. There are groups of people, there are parties of people who are trying to shut down public education. They don't want history taught. They don't want Black history taught. They don't want stuff like this taught. They want to teach what they want. And again, find out who these people are. And again, with this third party, when people say, I'm going to run and I'm going to vote third party, I want to have a conversation with those people and ask them where their candidate is the 3 years before the election. Because right now, in 2024, all the Green Team, all the Green Party, the Libertarian, all of them come out now in January 2024, and they're going to make noise from now to November and say, we need to make a change. We're tired. We need a third party. And as soon as the election is over in November,
Where they go?
you don't hear from them
You
for
know
3 more
Jill Stein?
years.
You remember Jill Stein?
Where are they organizing?
What is she? What's she doing?
What are they doing? Where are they building? You know what? I wish we had more choices, but
Yes.
you can't do it. You can't run a 10-month campaign
Right.
and then disappear for 3 years and then show back up.
Yeah, and so the fact that you appreciate you saying you didn't know that everybody in the house was up for elections. There's a reason for that. Again, that's why I ask you where you get your news. You gotta go searching. We don't automatically know these things.
Right. You gotta look for that type of information. They don't
gotta look
put
for
that
it.
at the front screen of
They're not gonna tell you.
They don't, and when they hand you them papers at the polls,
Oh, it's too late. When you get to the polls, it's too late.
you know what? Well, you're right. You
It's
supposed to
too
know,
late.
like,
I need you to
you
do
gotta
your
think
homework
about-
before you get there, because the people at the polls gonna get you. They'll get you.
right. But we're talking about young people. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about young people here
Yeah.
who listen to their mamas. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
They really not thinking for themselves, and they just going because their mama said go do this, and do that. Yes,
Yep.
mom, I'm gonna go do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it needs to be.
But
it
we're
has-
counting
like-
on you. We're counting on you to now educate your young people, the people in your circle. We just talked about. You have a circle of influence. I need you to talk to your people.
And
And if they have any questions, feel free to call me.
Man, like I said,
We gotta get out of here.
We gotta
I had
have this. We gotta
enough.
get back on here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
We have until November.
We got every 2 weeks. You got some people that want to come on with you, have questions. We want to have conversations. Again, this is about education and information. We want to make sure people that are informed when they make their decisions. Everyone has to make the decision, but make a good informed decision. Not based on some sound bites, not based on, something foolish that's been said, an informed decision. And know that, there's 2 teams in the championship game. So
One of them might not be
so one of
Carolina.
them's gonna win.
One of
So
them might not be my team.
so-
So rooting for Carolina. But
what's the betting thing that just jumped off for everybody? The new
FanDuel.
North Carolina.
Feeding my
FanDuel?
family. FanDuel
Okay,
feed my family.
okay. But here's what you need to realize for people who, again, the third party people, there are 2 teams playing in the championship game. If you bet on a team that ain't in the championship game,
you just wasting your money.
you wasting your money.
Yeah,
you at least
just
got to
donated.
bet on somebody who playing in the game. You can't bet on so you can't bet on the team who's sitting at the house. You got to bet on the 2 teams that playing. So unfortunately, there's only 2 teams playing. You may not like neither team, but guess what? One of them gonna win.
Somebody's gonna win.
All right,
There's
EJ.
only
So
two.
we gotta roll this. Aunt Shane says EJ blasted on me. Aunt Shane, EJ just told the truth. EJ
I
just
love
said
you.
you and EJ said you and everybody business. That ain't nothing that you don't even say. You
No.
love to say
Hold
I'm
on.
getting out of my lane, but really you don't care. There ain't you ride. You know how when they just paved the road and ain't no lines. That's you.
Auntie.
You just out there. I'm just saying. But you know this already. EJ didn't tell the people nothing.
No.
EJ didn't tell the people nothing.
But here's
So-
what they got to know. They're concerned about everyone in the other countries. They are concerned. They're not in their business. They're concerned about all the other countries.
Yeah. So again, we want to wrap up this interview with my nephew. Again, my blood nephew. This is my blood right here.
Okay.
My brother's son. I know.
Uncle Wayne and his wife.
Right. We appreciate you, EJ, coming in.
No problem. Like I said, thank y'all for having me.
Oh, what we're gonna get? We're gonna EJ to give a parting word too.
I don't know.
Okay.
So before we leave, EJ, we always have so we call it at the helm. You know how you've been on the cruise where they treat you real nice when you get on, but then when it's time to get off, what they do?
Bye. Get off. Get.
Bye,
They don't
y'all.
care nothing about you.
They
Sit
do
your
like
bags outside the door and be off of here at 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't care how you know.
They do this.
So anyway.
Go on, get. Go on, get.
That's how they treat you on the cruise. So we just
I
would like
am
to give
weak.
you
I hear y'all. I'm
We
about to get
want
on.
we want to
Hold
offer
on.
you this time to share any parting words really quick.
Like I said, thank y'all for having me. We're gonna get back on here and talk some more because this is a great conversation. I'm learning some things. Like I said, I love talking like this, because it's an open debate. Ain't nobody pulling everybody ear and forcing stuff down there, each other's throat, everybody listening to each other. I like this. This is healthy conversation. This is education for me. This is something that I can take back, like you said, to my peers and tell them this, and that. This is good. Like more young folks gotta. The problem is nobody wants to do it, but we gotta encourage people to do this.
We have to be
Go do their own
informed.
research. Where to research. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
That's
There's a lot of
Credible
factors in this.
sources. And if you ain't following Plies on TikTok, go ahead and hit them up, EJ.
Clyde on TikTok.
Plies.
Plies. Like
Yeah.
pliers? Like plies?
Like P.
The rapper?
Fly-
Plies, the rapper?
Oh, from
Flies
Plies?
with a P. Plies.
He do that. I thought he was a rapper.
Yeah.
He is, but
Yeah.
so listen, this is the thing.
He's
I'm gonna
woke.
say this real quick, but we gotta go. He was the valedictorian of his high school team. He went to play football on a high school scholarship.
Yes.
I'm not
So
sure.
he reads, he knows things. He fell into this rapping thing. It's kind of worked out for him, but he has not forgotten from whence he came. Valedictorian. He know what looks right, what don't look right. Follow Plies. Everybody out there,
Mhm.
follow the rapper.
Yeah. Not Ice Cube. Not Kanye.
you. Nuh-uh.
No. Plies.
Plies.
Plies. All right.
Well,
All right, EJ.
all right, y'all. Y'all have a nice night.
Right, you too. So we are.
Thank you, EJ.
Hey, you can hang back. You don't have to
Oh.
go. We can.
Oh, he left. He gone.
Oh, okay. So we would have a conversation afterwards.
Oh.
So next Saturday, speaking of getting involved and engaged, the Wilhelms will be hosting a meet and greet for the person who was running for House
Seat 37.
seat. Where my words go? Represent the House of Representatives for North Carolina. We will be hosting Miss Sophia Jackson. If you are in this district, Shane, you are. We are going to post a link in this website. We want you all to register, come and meet Sophia, find out what her platform is, find out if she can earn your vote between now and November.
Ask questions.
You have the opportunity to ask questions. It's an intimate setting. It is our house, so it's not like a huge room with 200 people. It will be a few of us. But we are looking to take back the seat. We support Sophia. We don't agree. We'll get to that. But come out, come out next Saturday at 4:00. We'll post the link so y'all can register and come out and meet Sophia. So we hope you all will do that.
Yes. Meet Sophia. Because if Sophia wins, Sophia will be making decisions that impact your life. So put a face to Sophia. Because if she gets in that seat, you know what you can do after she gets in that seat? Hey, remember me? We need to have a conversation. We need to talk about some of the decisions you're making. So yes,
Hey, Sandy.
make the contact.
Sandy, we got to bring you on too.
Yes. When you want to be
Another
on.
mother trucker.
Okay, departing words.
I always go first. You want to go first?
Oh, I can go
know you
first.
have one.
I can go first.
And it's a 30-second departing. We don't take a long time.
It might take me a little longer to get off the boat than others. Don't rush me.
Woo, that was it. That was his party word.
No
So
more. No
we
more.
will see you
No
all.
more.
Okay.
So it is difficult sometimes to get involved. It's difficult to know what to do, especially if you have not been involved. As EJ was saying, he doesn't know a lot, but he wants to know a lot. Sometimes it's difficult and it's challenging to get involved in doing any of this work. But just know that no matter what you're doing, you're making a difference. Even if you don't see the change, even if we don't see change, we have to little by little, we have to keep chopping every day, every second, every minute, every hour. So, if you are a nonprofit, if you are out here advocating, if you are doing the work, just know that you are appreciated and you are making a difference in someone's life. And if you make a difference in one person's life, you're doing work. So just know that and keep pressing forward and keep your head up and know that you are appreciated.
Thank you. You are also appreciated.
Thank you.
So I want to go back to Dawn Staley and her winning on the national stage, the championship, and her inserting her faith. Just know that not everybody is not always going to agree with you. We just had this conversation with my nephew. Everybody's not always going to agree with you, but that does not negate your ideology. That does not negate you as a person. You can have your own thoughts, and it might not sit right with everybody, but like EJ also said, you're going to find your people. You're going to find your people, and we're not just looking for people who are going to just assign worth to what we say, and nobody ever challenges us. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you don't have to take a step back from your faith, from who you are, from what you believe. It may not be faith. You don't have to take a step back from saying, I want to start my own business and people are not supporting you. Like, you need to stand in whatever it is that brings you joy, that strengthens you. And just know that, you will find your people. I also want to say, I should have just said this one. We always say, check on your people. But sometimes you can check in your people and your people look okay. So I'm going to say the other way around. If you are somebody who is who needs help, please reach out to somebody. There's somebody who will not be the same if you are no longer here. So we want you to really reach out and speak to someone. It is never as bad as what you might think it is. So find your people, talk to your people, enjoy life. And with that, we are a half hour over this time. We started late and we done kept y'all late. Time to go to bed. So our sound engineer is going
Hold
to
on.
give us
I can't figure it out.
Okay. So good night.
Huh?
Good night the old way. The new way ain't
Oh, I
working.
got it. All right, we're out.
My forehead is shining. You didn't talk about your shirt. Say less, do more. No. Am I not?